Hi guys, we're going to be moving on to lesson 19 today, and we're going to be inferring cause and effect. Our first vocabulary word is developed, and the base word develop means to cause an area of land to have a new purpose. So they're using the land for a different reason. The suffix ed makes it past tense. Okay, so this picture here, you can see it says residential, commercial, industrial, and vacant land. So if people want to build on certain types of land, it needs to fall under a certain category. And that category can be changed if the land becomes developed. So there's certain areas where only you can build houses and apartments. Other places you can only build stores and restaurants, and other places of lands you can build factories and things like that. And then vacant is another word for empty, so empty land that has no purpose yet. Another word that's important for today's lesson is infer, and I know we've talked about this in reading workshop this year. And infer is to have a thought based off of found evidence. Okay, so the author implies something, they say something that they want you to infer the meaning of, you infer what they're implying. So to make an inference, okay, you need to use what you already know, that's your background knowledge, schema, plus text evidence, what the author's telling you, to make a new thought. We've been learning that good readers pay attention to cause and effect relationships, and we also have been thinking about if those effects are either positive or negative. Were they a good outcome or were they a negative outcome? Today, I'm going to teach you that good readers use pictures, captions, the text features to gather important information from the text and infer those cause and effect relationships. Okay, so right here, this is a chart of all different nonfiction text features. Okay, like 1 second. Sorry. So we're going to be focusing on photographs and captions today when we're making those inferences. But there's a whole bunch of nonfiction text features that we need to be using to help us better make sense of the text. Going back to that, a photograph, right? That's a picture, an actual real life photograph that helps you understand what's going on in the text. And a caption is a little sentence or a blurb underneath a photo or illustration that tells more about what's going on in that picture. So today as I read, we're going to be reading side notes. So as you know, Children of the Gold Rush is an anthology, which means it's a collection of stories. Now, within those stories, there's kind of these little tiny side stories that give you background information about certain topics. So today we're going to be reading all of the side stories in here that are related to gold panning and gold mining. And we're going to be inferring the effects of gold panning and mining on the environment. So we're not focused on the people anymore. Hi, Nico. We're just looking at the environment, the actual physical environment, the ground and the land and the creatures that live there. So we know that if we're going to be inferring the effects of gold panning and mining, that we need to use this kind of equation here to come up with an inference. So evidence from the text plus what we already know inside of our heads, right, our schema, is how we make an inference. Okay, so I'm going to read page 28 first, this little side story here. And this is all about gold panning. So we have our photograph here, we have an illustration here, and then we have two captions. Okay, so it says right, that means the picture to the right, and below, that means the picture below. So that's how you know which caption goes with which image. So this prospector scoops water into the top of his gold rocker. His partner is hauling up pay dirt with a windlass. Okay. And below, that's a Klondike advertisement in 1898, and it shows typical prospector panning for gold. So that was an advertisement trying to entice people to come pan for gold. So gold panning. Gold found in the gravel streams of the rivers is called placer gold. Over many millions of years, gold has washed down from the hills in the Yukon country and settled into the valleys. Early prospectors explored the remote streams with a shovel, pick, and gold pan. Into the wide, flat pan, they scooped the promising sand and gravel. Then, squatting by the stream, they swirled water over the gravel to wash away the dirt and rocks until only the gold remained. So that tells you how they panned gold. So you can see in this picture here, this is kind of like almost like a strainer, right? And they're scooping the sand and gravel in, and they're pouring water above, so the dirt would come away and the chunks of gold would stay. Unfortunately, right, rocks are going to stay in there too, so they have to pick through all of the different rocks. So an inference I can make on this, right? When the book said, here's my, you can use this frame to help you as well. When the book said that they scooped sand and gravel out of the streams to look for gold, I made an inference. I think panning for gold may have caused damage to the animal and plant habitats because sand and soil that they might use for homes is being scooped into the buckets. So they're altering the ground, which is going to alter the environment for the living things there. Okay, page 36. Here we're going to be looking at staking a claim. Okay, remember staking a claim we said was when they pick a spot and declare it theirs. So staking a claim. Where gold was found, a discovery claim could be staked. Subsequent claims were laid out upstream and downstream and numbered as one above or one below the discovery claim. Early miners used new tools such as the gold rocker, which sorted, sifted, and washed the gold out of the gravel while the miner rocked the box with the handle. With enough lumber, a long solace box could be set up in the stream. Workers shoveled the gravel into the box and channeled the streams of water over it, washing the gravel away. Gold would be caught in the riffles of the bottom of the box. So this is another way of panning for gold. So this right here, it's kind of like a big chute, and in it has these little pieces that make it look like a ladder, but there's a base underneath, and they would pour water down the top, and as it rolled, gold would get caught on the little ladder pieces where the gravel and the sand and rocks would probably wash away. And this obviously would change the land, altering the whole entire surface of it, right? So this could affect with weathering and erosion, changing the land. So mining underground. So the difference between panning and mining is when they dig a hole or a cave to break into rock or dirt to find gold instead of just scooping up gravel that's already been broken into the streams. Okay, so mining underground. And this one here, we have a caption for our photograph as well. It says, miners tunneled underground at the bottom of the deep mining shafts to reach the ancient buried gravels containing gold. Mining underground. In the north, the gold in ancient stream beds is sometimes buried under tens or even hundreds of feet of permanently frozen dirt called overburden or muck. Prospectors had to dig deep shafts down the gravel to find the gold. They lit fires every night and in the morning dug down through the feet and feet of thawed dirt. Then they repeated the process. When they reached the gravel, they hauled it up and panned it in a wash tub. Most often, the greatest concentration of gold was on top of bedrock. So they learned that the different layers of the ground above bedrock, you're going to find the most gold, which means you have to dig down. To dig into these caves here, into the dirt, right? They could see the layers and they wanted to get through right above the bedrock so that they could find gold. What it's saying is that the ground was frozen under there. So what they would do was set a fire, let the fire thaw out the dirt, and then they would dig through it. So this definitely is going to change the environment. It's going to change the ground there, and it's going to change the surface of the landforms and the sides of the landforms. And our last one here on page 79. This is drift mining. And you can see here we have another caption. Women, children, and miners gather at the Solace Box for the cleanup at a mine on Goldstream Creek near Fairbanks. Okay, so drift mining. If a prospector found gold after digging down to bedrock, the claim might be developed into a mine. At the bottom of the shaft, underground workers dug tunnels or drifts, following the gold deposits along the ancient stream bed. Stream engines operated self-dumping buckets to pull the dirt and gravel out of the ground and pour it onto huge piles. The piles called dumps grew all winter. So they were digging out, and whatever there was no gold in it, they would just put into a giant pile. So now we're not just tearing apart the ground, we're also creating new piles. In the spring, when when running water was again available, the gravel in the dumps was washed away. Cleanup was the most exciting time. The operation stopped, and the miners found out how much gold was in the box. Okay. So today in Everyday You Read, I want you to use nonfiction text features to help you better make sense of the text. Also make inferences as you read. Think about the outcomes of the events. Are they negative or are they positive? Oops. And today what I want you to do is comment with one effect gold mining and panning had on the land. So what might happen to the land if they're digging up dirt, if they're breaking into landforms, and using water to sort it out? What could happen to the land? What could happen to the environment? What could happen to the things that are living there? Okay. It's a new week. I can't believe we're already on week 5. I cannot wait to see you guys again. Wednesday, we're going to be focusing on math in our Zoom call. Okay. And I'll just show you what we have for this week. For science this week, we're focusing on coronavirus, and our theme this week is Everyday Heroes. That's a school-wide theme. So if you go on to Google Classroom, there's a Heroes of COVID-19 activity. There's a Brain Pop video. You don't need to log in to this one because it's free, but the login information is there in the slides. You each have your own copy of the slides, so you can input your information there. There's also activities that are not digital, like you can do them at home. And this came out of the offline learning plan. If you want to do that as well, that's great, and share that information. But I know a lot of you guys have been doing such a nice job keeping up with the online work. Again, don't forget to read every single day. There are plenty of links to reading websites on here. Don't forget to practice Freckle 30 minutes a day for math and 30 minutes a day for ELA. Okay. I have a handful of students who are doing such a good job with that. And watch the Gold Rush videos that appear almost daily. It depends on how much other work we have. Also, there is a blinding lights challenge that you can see your teacher featured in, as well as many other teachers dancing to the blinding lights challenge. And if you do it yourself, record it and share it on Google Classroom. That would be awesome. Okay. And that's it. I miss you guys. Reach out to me if you need anything. Awesome job with the Reader's Notebooks. I can't even. It's fabulous. I have so many students writing these amazing letters. It's such a good way to talk to you. So make sure you're getting that done as well. I miss you. I miss you. I miss you. Reach out to me if you need anything. Bye, guys.